introduce the speaker for graduates, a former student, now a graduate, Maychelle Sala de Sesto, MA TESOL.
KOI board members, staff, lecturers, family and friends. I'm May de Sesto, graduate today with a master's degree in TESOL, or Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. That's the third course in KOI. Not many of you know it, but there are a lot of us. About 6, 8, tons of us. I'm standing before you here today to speak on behalf of the graduates in KOI's 11th graduation ceremony. Thank you, Dr. John Jones, our Deputy Dean, for entrusting me. This is such an honor. I have to be honest though, writing this speech is very difficult. I mean, how do you encapsulate 2 years of studying in KOI and here in Australia in 12 minutes? I realized that this has been more difficult than my thesis. Sorry, Dr. O'Brien. So I scoured for speeches online and conducted a genre analysis. Genre analysis is a teacher's jargon for copy and rephrase. Emphasize on the rephrase, not paste. Otherwise, my speech would get a 66% similarity and turn it in. I remember my wise Indonesian friend, Slamet, is sitting over there. He said, in Asia, we don't have copyright, we only have the right to copy. I wish it were the same over here. I went through graduation speeches online from the websites of Harvard University, MIT, and the most prestigious university, the University of YouTube. I realized that I just couldn't get any inspiration from other graduation speeches. I saw old cliches like, this is the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one, or the future belongs to you, go change the world, fly like a bird, may the power be with you, and other metaphorical platitudes. But they just don't say how I feel. Their thoughts and experiences are not mine, and I'm sure that they're not yours as well. Their lofty vocabulary can speak our thoughts either. So I decided to write and speak from the heart of an international student in Australia. So a couple of years ago, I was sitting quietly at a cafe in Manila. I just then completed my qualification as a registered financial planner. I was also holding then a comprehensive financial plan I designed for myself and for my family. It included my daughter's college education, long-term care, emergency funds, insurance, and many more. You see, in our country, Social Security won't be able to cover all of these. So you have to do it yourself. So I was looking at how much I have to invest every month to be able to cover for a future. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I have to do something radical to change my life. Then a text message popped on my phone. It was inviting me to attend this information seminar about studying and working in Australia. The next weekend, I dragged my husband to this seminar. He was always risk averse, so I had to trick him to coming with me, saying I had won 2 vouchers of buffet lunch. We sat there, certainly did not have an all-you-can-eat buffet, but we listened. After that, we deliberated about it for days, and ended up agreeing that we should give it a try. We decided to give it a try despite the fear of journeying into the unknown, the uncertain consequences of giving up our careers, and the thought that we are leaving our girl. Yes, we had a game plan, and we did the research, but it was still a huge risk for us. I'm sure that for many of you, you also have had difficult time planning and deciding whether you should go here or not. But anyway, you're here. Your fate prodded you to come here. Just like the profound saying goes, you've got to risk it to get the biscuit. Like you, my husband and I packed our bags and flew over here, full of excitement and anticipation. I was looking forward to earning an international degree and, of course, Australian dollars. I was so pleased to see how the trains are not as crowded as in Manila, the roads are wider, the air fresher, the people are nice. Strangers call me darling or love. Bondi is an hour train ride from the suburb, and so is the Blue Mountains. The Sydney of City is picturesque with its lovely water views and charming cafes. So just like yours, I'm sure, and I hope, my first week in KOI was quite exciting. The lecturers are not just highly qualified, they're very nice. very understanding of our differences in culture, languages, and practices. KOI, as a matter of fact, is very sympathetic to its students. So sympathetic that they did not place locks on doors, so when students are late for class, they can still come in. KOI also provided us with the support we needed to start our journey, or academic journey, right. Comfortable seats, bright classrooms, English development seminars, and recently, workshops on how to survive exam worry, stress management, and career development. Everything was just perfect, wasn't it? Everything was seen through rose-colored glasses. But do you remember how quickly those rose-colored glasses wore off? Suddenly, we saw the toils of being an international student in Australia. Why is restaurant food so expensive? Well, they barely taste anything. Is salt so expensive around here? Why do we have to go to KOI for 3 or 4 days a week when that costs us $12 a day? Why is it so hard to get a job? And what is this Turnitin? And why is it such a curse? And maybe many of us found the extreme weather exasperating. But we know that all these minor adjustments are nothing compared to what we had to deal with to stay afloat, to survive our first year. Some of us spent the weekends and nights working in the kitchen or the supermarket just to struggle awake the next day in class. Some of us took jobs taking care of elders or children that aren't ours, while our own young ones, spouses, and aging parents are left at home. I know of mothers who mastered the art of online parenting, and I am one of them. Having your children live with you here on a student visa also seems like a job for superheroes. So for parents out here who are on student visa, you have superpowers. And as we rummaged through a jungle of lecture notes reviewing our finals, we wondered how our families were, if they were safe back home. We all know that the past 2 years, strong earthquakes had rattled Nepal, Italy, Indonesia, Chile, and Taiwan. Hurricanes ravaged Haiti, Taiwan, and the Philippines. South India was soaked in what they call the flood of the century. Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, Turkey, France, and many other countries suffered from different forms of inhumanities. So while we are here, struggling to stay afloat, amidst our studies and work, number crunching, toiling over case studies, chopping potatoes, packing goods, driving a truck, cleaning hotel rooms, our minds and hearts are back home. But of course, the year passes and we feel that lifestyle gets easier and we adjust towards the end of our studies. But then a new challenge awaits. What do we do now? Should we go back home and become CEOs of giant financial firms? Or pursue a life here in Australia permanently? But what about that evasive local experience? That elusive IELTS 8 or PTE 79? What does life bring after a professional year or postgraduate study? I know that under these awkward caps and robes are tons of anticipation, excitement, and even fear. But know that whatever you decide to do, whatever comes our way, we will stay afloat. No, we won't just survive, we will thrive and you will succeed. Come to think of it, we have already accomplished so much, not just an international undergraduate or postgraduate degree. We pick the brains of our brilliant instructors and learn from their experience through their stories. We gain friends from different walks of life and nationalities. My closest friends here are Chinese, Indonesian, Indian, Pakistani, though some of them have names I still cannot pronounce to this day. Nevertheless, I will never forget our conversations, laughter, and lessons. One of the lessons that I learned is that I'm not alone. Well, most importantly, our greatest achievement is our unbreakable determination. Our hardships gave us grit and made us the most tenacious and courageous people. So, dear friends, I congratulate you not just for completing a course, but for staying afloat, for emerging strong and victorious. Of course, we couldn't have done this on our own. We have our families, our friends, and spouses to thank for. Let me take this opportunity to thank my husband for walking this path with me. And again, I'd like to thank everybody in KOI, Dean Dog, Dean John, Chandra, Sean, Jane, Emma, Daniel, and the rest of the KOI staff for their support. Of course, thank you to our dear lecturers for giving us inspiration and for not strangling us when we are constantly late. And most of all, thank you, classmates. If not for you, these years wouldn't have been the most engaging and colorful learning experience in my life. Congratulations and happy Valentine's Day.